So, today we are talking about Five Nights at Freddy's. We're going to decide, ultimately, definitively, which one is the best animatronic. So, pour yourself a drink. That's just pure gin. Okay, so we there's a lot of animatronics. Apparently, there's a lot of animatronics. Apparently, there's 121 confirmed animatronics and 158 non-confirmed. Sorry, including non-confirmed, there's 158. And I will now proceed to say every single one of their names at the exact same time. And then the books, which is a completely different type of video. So I think the way we're going to establish which one our GOAT is gonna have to be, wait, this list didn't include Security Breach or The Mimic or that one when you're in the office. What's it called? Damn it, what's it called? It was free to play. It's not FNAF Simulator. The Ultimate Custom Night. It didn't include Ultimate Custom Night. But then again, I am realizing that this is from r/Five Nights at Freddy's 7 years ago. So it's only going to have half the animatronics. But it doesn't matter. My GOAT was mentioned. So I think the way we're going to take this, a game at a time, excluding those ones I just said that are not on the list because they're not important anyway, to this video at least. And then we'll decide who our GOAT is from there. So in FNAF 1 we had Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, Golden Freddy, Cupcake, and Endo01. Now, FNAF 1 was pretty basic. So you had Freddy that came in from the left, lies. So you had Freddy that came in from the right, Chica that came from the right, Bonnie that came from the left, Foxy that came from the left, Golden Freddy who spawned in right in front of you. So for the most part, the first game is pretty boring, in considering the later games where there's more mechanics, I guess. So I think the best one here is probably going to be Foxy because he does the most. Like, he runs down the hallway, you hear him go boom, and you hear him run down the hallway and you slam the door shut. And also his jump scare is kind of the best because like the rest are just like jump at you, whereas he just peeks his head through the door. So I think Foxy takes place for the first game. Moving swiftly on to FNAF 2, there's a lot more. You have the withered versions of the ones we just mentioned. You have the normal versions apparently of what we just mentioned. You also have the toy versions of what we just mentioned, including Mangle. You also have Mangle and BB and the puppet. Now, I know I just previously mentioned that the first game was boring because of the lack of mechanics, which obviously is going to have a lack of mechanics, it's the first game. In this second game, you have to wind up the music box, you have BB who can come in and steal your batteries, Foxy who can't be deterred by the mask. Again, I think Foxy takes the cake because despite the puppet, you needing to wind up the music box, it's just annoying. But it's also kind of cringe that Freddy can look himself dead in the eyes and go, wait a minute, that's Freddy Fazbear, I'm gonna have to go, bye. Whereas Foxy goes, can't trick me, mate. And that, by the way, that was a pirate impression, not me just being overly British again. So I think Foxy takes the cake for FNAF 2. Moving on to FNAF 3, we have the Phantoms and Springtrap. Now, the Phantoms cannot kill you, they just sort of jump scare you and make you go until you later reset the ventilation. So I think Springtrap has to take the cake with this one. So unfortunately this will be an L for Foxy, but I'm sure he's going to come back in FNAF 4. Now, is there much to even say? Foxy, you know, he's in the closet. You know, you can close the doors until he turns back into a plush and you sort of neutralize him for a few seconds in most cases. Obviously you have the Halloween DLCs. They're kind of cool, I guess. Not really. I think Nightmare On was added. I remember playing Nightmare On, the minigame in VR. That was probably my favourite one in VR. It was cool. Also, Funtime Freddy was for some reason in the kids' room from FNAF 4 in VR. There's bloody birds flying around. But yeah, so I'm going to say that Foxy takes the... Wait, no, sorry. I just read here. Freddles takes the cake. You're just playing, you're going, oh, I've got to check the left door. I've got to check the right door. The Foxy's in the middle? No. Freddles. If you don't know what the Freddles do, basically they're the ones that spawn in the bed behind you. And if you don't get them in time, I think, is it Golden Freddy spawns in? I don't know, I could be waffling about the game mechanics. I'm more of a lore guy but I think FREDDY'S takes the cake for FNAF 4. Moving on again to Sister Location. Sister Location, I think I just sort of wiped that one from my memory. In fact, I played it on Roblox with my mates, so that was the last time I played or even heard anyone mention Sister Location. But apparently there's like about 2,700 animatronics according to this list that I have up. But I think the one that's going to take the cake, because I don't really want to talk about Sister Location because it was just a really weird mechanical wise game, but I'm just going to say Enid, because he was the main villain of the game. So like Springtrap with FNAF 3. I'm just gonna say Enid wins that round. Although the mini arenas, was it the mini arenas that when you're inside of the animatronic suit, they like climb up and stuff and you have to wiggle to get them off? I'm going to assume so. Okay, now lastly on this list, Five Nights at Freddy's Pizzeria Simulator. I think we all know what's going to happen here. But unfortunately, there isn't a Foxy in the game, I don't believe. Damn, Foxy does not appear in that game. That's crazy. But because Pizzeria Simulator is terrible, unless you get the blacklisted ending, I'm going to give... Oh, Rockstar Foxy gets the point for this, for Five Nights at Freddy's Pizzeria Simulator. And that's all the ones that are on this list. So, I mean, it has the books here, but like, how canon are the books to the games? So, I think I have enough information to decide which one's my GOAT. My GOAT, say it with me now, y'all. Say it with me. 3, 2, 1. Lefty is my GOAT. Lefty is amazing. I love Lefty. Five Nights at Freddy's Pizzeria Simulator is my favorite GOAT. Is my favorite game. Lefty is my GOAT. Yeah, I'm going to make a part 2 to talk about the rest of the games, I think. But I'll make a part 2 if this video can hit a whopping 5 likes. So invest, leave a like, subscribe, and comment below who your favorite Five Nights at Freddy's animatronic is, and I'll make more. If you like this type of video and want me to make more, watch the other ones. I'll put it in the end card.